Good morning to you and welcome back to a new week and a new chance to achieve all of your goals, except it's a Friday night and I'm filming this, and as you can see I'm just sat on the floor in my bedroom. I'm going to do a one take wonder because I've been putting off filming this all week because I felt like I had to say something really profound or like really problem solving or just real special, and I don't have anything really special to say. I just want to tell you what's happened, and this is the weekly, so I apologise that this is not your usual weekly. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go and get a drink. That's better. Right. So when I film these videos, generally I want to share the highlights of my life and be cheerful and uplifting while still sharing the trials and tribulations and the real life bits, you know. I don't want to gloss over, like, you know, having a hard mummy day or feeling hormonal or all of those normal things, but I wouldn't ever share, oh, Liam and I have just had a massive argument, or I've just had a bit of a friendship issue, or my family, something's happened, or, you know, I don't share those big parts of my life because I just think a little bit like don't air your dirty laundry and keep those things just behind closed doors a little bit, which I think is fairly normal and everyone feels like that. I don't even know where to, I'm not even sure like where to begin. I'm going to begin this story like very far, long ago in a world far away. That's not even how it goes. In a time. What is the Star Wars intro? I should definitely know that. Right. When I was very little, I grew up in a household. So my mum died when I was 7. So it was my dad and my dad's wife, who was awful to me. But that's a whole separate story. I did film that video, by the way, but editing it just like breaks my heart to edit it. So I don't know if I'm going to refilm it or push through with that edit. I'm not sure, but we'll worry about that later. My dad is the kind of man that really wants the best for me and my sister. He always pushes to our best, and it comes from a place of love because he wants the best for us. But sometimes my dad doesn't realise when it's time to just say good enough is good enough and you are good enough. And when I was little, I was always just very average. Maybe academically a little bit under average. In fact, I was never the smartest girl in my class. I was never the best at anything at school, literally. Sorry, that's a bit blue, I've got my laptop on. Literally, I'm not that person that's the best at things. I'm not the fastest runner, obviously. I wasn't the best in school. I'm just like a plodder alonger kind of a woman, still in my like adult life. I'm not really the best at things, I'm not the worst, I'm just kind of comfortable where I am. And when I was younger, my dad would never let that be okay. So if I came home from school and said, oh, I got an A-, he would say, well, what do you think you should have done to get the A? Or he would say, I'd say, Dad, I got an A, I got an A. And he'd say, what did everyone else get? I go, well, they got A's as well. Well, that test can't have been very hard then. Or if I didn't tidy up the house properly, he invented this character called Mr. Slop, and he would say, oh, looks like Mr. Slop emptied the dishwasher then. And it was just a really demeaning way of saying I did it and I didn't do a good enough job at doing something. And in his defense, because I love him and I have to defend him for my own like mental health so that I don't like fall into this hole of like, why would a parent do this to a child? He did it out of a place of love. But as an adult now, I always feel like I have to, not I want to, I have to go above and beyond with everything. I have to try my hardest. I have to almost push myself to breaking to prove that I'm trying my hardest, because I don't want anyone to say, well, Mr. Slop looks like Mr. Slop has been. God, that's so triggering if anyone ever was like, Mr. Slop. You know, slop like sloppy. You know what I mean. You know what I mean by Mrs. like sloppy behaviour or not good enough. So there's that stems from my childhood, coupled with this job this social media job, it's really hard to see what people do unless you have done it yourself, or you work in that industry, or you're a smart cookie and you can like figure that out. A lot of people, through no fault of their own, obviously don't know all the ins and outs. So when I work with the brand, you just see the branded video, but you haven't seen the many phone calls and emails back and forth, me pushing back on their ideas, saying I don't think my audience will like that idea, so this is what I want to do, and then having the calls around that, and then getting the props and setting it up and filming it and sorting out where the kids are going to go and tidying up the house, that's where I'm going to film, and editing it, all of that. And there's those sorts of things all the time. Like yesterday I spoke on a panel, and that panel has taken up lots of time because there were lots of calls back and forth and research and travelling there and doing the panel, but that's something that like I'll never share here. Like there's just a lot to this social media job. There's a lot, and then obviously writing books as well. That, I mean, you know that writing books takes time because you're writing a blooming book. And I always feel like people think I do nothing. So I feel like I have to go above and beyond to almost prove that I'm doing something. I don't know who I'm proving this to, because nobody has ever said to me, Louise, could you prove that you actually do any work? Because it looks to me like you don't. No one's ever asked me to prove this. But I think from like the few comments I see, and they really are the minority, where people are like, she does F4, she just sits around all day doing nothing. I'm like, no, I do sit all day, but I don't do nothing. I sit on my laptop. So I feel self-conscious. I also think that when you work from home, and tell me if you understand this, when you work from home, people assume you're not working as hard as people that work out of the workplace. Separate conversation altogether. So yeah, so there's that. There's my constant paranoia that people think I'm lazy. Probably, I'm not a psychologist, but like stemming from dad, and and I'm talking not just a little bit, but like all the time. He would make charts for me to tick off to prove I'd done things, and I would have to, in the summer holidays, one summer holiday, he made me do 6 hours of work every single day, and I wasn't allowed to go out, like outside, until I'd done 6 hours. My dad used to make these like lists of things I had to do around homework that would make homework twice as long. He just was a bit of a pushy parent, and now it's made me always feel not good enough, and that's something I need to explore on my own time. So I had Pearl January. By the way, some of this you might have seen on my Instagram, because I did do an Instagram about this week. I know I'm waffling, I'm sorry. I had Pearl on the 14th of January, and then on the 15th of January I got up, put my makeup on and started filming again. And Gleam, who are my management company, were like, take a break, like you should take some time off, we're not going to contact you. And in fairness, I didn't do a lot of brand work for two months, and I didn't do a lot of book work for 2 months, but I did vlog, I kept up with weeklies, I kept up with social media, kept an eye on things, and I never really took that time to have just time with nothing in, which is such a strange concept to me. On my phone, I was going to pick it up and then don't know where it is, I have over 500 lists. I make lists all the time because my brain goes all the time with things I want to do, ideas I have, lists of things to get through in the day. I never just take time to do nothing. Even when we went to Disney, I filmed all of that trip, it's just I haven't uploaded it yet. And I don't want you to feel like you're the problem, like, oh, you don't have to film things for us. You are not the problem. This is my own, is obsessive the right word? Like obsessive way, like, no, I don't think it is, like my compulsion to do things all the time. Even when people say, just relax, take a day off, I don't take that off. I'm like, oh, that's a day that I could be doing something. In that case, I will sort the airing cupboard out, clean 2 bathrooms, go and do the Christmas shopping, and a partridge in a pear tree. Like, I'm just that kind of person that has to be doing all the time. So this has been going on and on and on, and I've not really been sharing it very much, because why would I? Like, it's just my personality to constantly be doing. And for the last couple of months, I've been starting to have really bad dreams. I have these dreams where terrible things happen, like last night I dreamt that I was in a car park that was a field. You know, like when you go to a craft fair or whatever, and you park in, like maybe it might be a country home or something like that, and you park on grass. I was there, and I couldn't slow my car down, and I was going at 60 miles an hour and there were children everywhere, and I was like trying to drive at 60 miles an hour and not knock children over. Or I dream like that I can hear my children outside like screaming for me and I can't open the door to get out to them. Or I dream that we're on boats that are sinking, or I dream that Darcy's lost. Like I used to have frightening dreams when I was pregnant, but the last few months I've been having them more and more, to the point where it's nightly, and I tell Liam in the morning, he's like, bloody hell babe. So I've been having those. I have just been slowly feeling like I can't slow my brain down, and it's a lot of it is like work based, but when I break it down and think about it, I think, but I'm my own boss. It's not like I've got a boss telling me to do this. If I said to Clem, hey guys, I think I just want to like slow down this month, they'd be like, okay, no problem. But I don't. In fact, I say things like, do you know what I really want? I'm going to start a podcast. Let's start a podcast. You know what I really want to do? I want to upload more on Facebook. Like, I want to do everything because this whole industry excites me so much. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. Like, remember when I very first started, I don't know if any of you were watching in 2010, nobody made money from it then, and I loved it. And if tomorrow no money was made for this, but I still had like life security, like I could pay my mortgage and pay my bills and stuff, I would still make these videos because I just love it. And I love social media. I love how social it is. I love the community. I love talking to people. I love making things. I love uploading things. I love editing. I love it. So there's nothing I want to take off my plate, but I think I just need to slow my plate down a bit, and my brain just whizzes all the time with non-work things, with, oh, I'm going to plan a holiday for my whole family, and also I'm going to commission an artist to draw a lovely picture of us all, and then I'm going to decorate the house, and then, oh, maybe I'll make Liam a really nice dinner and I'll go to a special farm shop to buy the thing. Like, constantly, all these things all the time. And it's got worse. And then this weekend, it's like I just broke. You know when people go, nope, I'm broken, like, really? I just broke, and I said to Liam, I just don't feel well. And I don't mean physically well. My brain doesn't feel well. My brain feels really busy all the time. Like, even when I'm asleep, my brain is busy, and I wake up tired. I mean, it doesn't help that we have a baby that wakes up at the crack of dawn, and she's been waking up a lot in the night because she's been poorly for 2 weeks. She had that rash, and then this week she's had a cold. So I hate to say I'm so tired, because when I say that, I'm triggered to think you can't be tired because that means lazy. You're lazy. You're too lazy. That you're not tired. You're being lazy. You need to get up and get on. I'm so like conditioned to think, get up and you get on. You try your hardest, and you don't say, I'm tired. I need to stop. But that's what happened this weekend. I just got so upset, and then I was so horrible to Liam because I was just transferring all my problems onto him, and I was like, you're the reason I feel like this, and I was so mean, and I wasn't a present mother to my children because I was just so upset. I had to go, I was just like, I'm going upstairs, you can all do whatever you like. It was so unlike me to be so, I was just vile. I was a vile person, and then I felt guilty for that. Just need to take some time, some self-care, and I'm the first one to be like, oh, take care of yourself, like self-care, but I don't care about myself. I do things, I do a lot of things, like I'll treat myself to a nice handbag, or I'll have a bubble bath, but whilst I'm in the bath I'll be watching vlogs and thinking, oh yeah, I could do something like that. Oh, I don't just stop and just have that quiet, just stop with no plans. Don't make plans, don't think, not, oh, I'm having a week off, so I'm going to fill it with this and that and coffee with such and such, and perhaps I'll catch up on the, like, just stop and just fully recharge. And even saying that, I feel guilty because I just went on holiday. I just had what for many people would be the holiday of a lifetime. I went to Orlando, to Disney World for 10 days with my family. That's a holiday, but I came back from that and I was like, whoa, that was a full-on holiday, like doing things every day. And I don't want to complain because I don't want to be a bellend complaining about these things, but just something in my brain was just like, wow, you need to just stop. And then Liam said some things to me, like, a lot of women still in your position, be on maternity leave, spending time every day with a baby, and just, I mean, I don't think that when you have a baby you go at a slower pace, but just going at a different pace. So anyway, long story short, I started the vlog this week. I've got footage from Monday where I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can totally do this. I am a pro at smiling and getting on with things. There have been so many days where I've been like, I can do it, just smile and get on with it. I've been vlogging for 9 years, so it's almost becoming like a second nature to me to be like, I can just put that behind me for 1 minute, switch that off. I can like really well compartmentalize certain areas of my life, which I don't know is if it's an asset or not, but it's something I can do. For example, when I was going through my divorce, when I split up with Darcy's dad, we split up in the summer of 2014, but I didn't share with anyone on the internet until spring 2015 because I just wanted to keep it private for a while, and I just carried on like normal. So, because I think it's professional, that's why I think I do it, because I think it's not like you're my audience, you are the ones that must be protected at all times, and just because something in my life has happened doesn't mean that I need to bring that to work. I always put it back to when I was a receptionist in an office. That's what I did before this as a receptionist. If I had had an argument with my boyfriend or was feeling, you know, a bit grumpy, still had to go to work. People still have to get up every day and go to work. And then Esther actually pointed out to me that sometimes people go to the doctors and go off with stress, and you're allowed to do that. And when you go on holiday, you don't take your work with you, you don't take your camera with you, you don't do those things. And I can't impress on you enough how much I'm not moaning about this job, because I love it and I'm never moaning about you guys. But I think that I hadn't been taking care of myself. I'd been letting work creep into the evenings, and not even work, just having my laptop open and like, pootling through Facebook, scrolling on things, letting social media, like, not work stuff, just me being a consumer of it, you know. Do you do that where you're like, wow, it's like 10 o'clock and I've just been on my phone or on my laptop for hours? And so I broke the weekend, and then I started filming on Monday, and then it was by accident actually. I got in the car to go to Esther's because we went to Costco, and I thought, oh, I've got my camera, I'll go back in and get it. And I thought, no, I won't. I just won't. I'm just not going to film this afternoon. And I didn't. And I didn't think about anything. I just thought about one thing, and that was being with Esther in Costco. And I realised this isn't groundbreaking. It's just like going to a shop. But I didn't think about my lists of things that I forced myself to have. I didn't think about the house. I didn't think about Darcy's school play and what outfit do I need to sort out for that, and you know, what food do I need to get in for the shop, and what meal plans am I doing. And I didn't think about any of it. I just thought about being there in the moment with Esther and being present. And I think I'm never present in a moment, but I was. And then on Tuesday, I've got my calendar here so I can remind myself, I've got nothing in for Tuesday. On Tuesday I just thought, I'm going to do that again. That was really good. And so I didn't really look at my emails. I went and got my hair done. I spent the whole day with Pearl. I was really active on Instagram stories because I was just so relaxed and I was just enjoying it. And I spent the day at home with Pearl, and when I watched Teen Mom, and I played with her on the floor, and I read her books, and I gave her cuddles, and I crawled around with her, and I had a nice dinner with Liam, and I picked Darcy up from school and took her to her evening club and watched a video with her in the evening. I just was there in the day. And then Wednesday, what did I have in on Wednesday? Just another day at home, just pottering around, not completing a to-do list, not thinking, okay, I need to sort the dressing room out, clean the bath, just pottering about, not having a to-do list. Thursday was a great day. I went into London and I spoke on a panel at an event called Huddle, and I talked on a panel about influencer integrity, and talked about, and Emily Norris was there and a few other really cool people. And we talked about like the social media bubble and what brands can do and what we can do, and like what our audience is like and what our audiences need. Like, and my thing was audiences need transparency when it comes to what's branded and what's not branded, and like this new the ASA guidelines about, you know, how we put ad and we put like ad in the title or hashtag ad, etc., like how I'm like totally pro those things. But this is going off track slightly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you would prefer to know when something's an ad straight away so that you can A, decide if you're going to watch it, and B, you don't feel tricked. I was saying how audiences don't like to feel like they're being sneakily sold something. If it's an ad, call it an ad and just say this is what it is and add value to it. So you might be getting like an ad or something, but you're still getting a lot of other stuff in the video, or that ad might actually be interesting or helpful to you. And my argument was we should make those guidelines completely universal worldwide so that everybody online has to follow them, so that every viewer or consumer of online content knows where they are with things, you know, so you can feel like secure in things. Anyway, I did that, I had a nice lunch, and then I had the best PR afternoon I have had in so long. It was amazing. It's with Lidl, who this bit's not sponsored, but I am sponsored by them on Instagram, and I would always obviously put in paid partnership or ad on stuff. But they asked us to go for this like taster afternoon to taste their Christmas food, because that's what I'm going to be talking about in my Instagrams. And I thought it would be like waiters with trays of like mini things. We're like, oh, thanks so much, this is very nice. It was a 12-course meal. I mean, I have like burnt through my weekly WW points there. I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to like really plan carefully to make sure I'd like to have a good week on that. But we sat down, it was beautiful. Like, it was laid out beautifully with ferns and all these twigs above with these like baubles with little candles in them, not real candles but electric candles, and then the food was exquisite. I don't say exquisite very often, but I was like, wow. And I'm sure Lidl won't mind me saying this, I was amazed that it was from Lidl, because I have often thought like, oh, I don't know if it's as good because it costs less. But as you've been seeing, I've been going to these places recently, I'm like, especially the pastries, but I was like, wow, Lidl's amazing. So that was such a nice afternoon. And also I loved working with them because they got it as well. I was talking to the lady from Lidl because I said, oh, I'm going to do an Instagram and I want to say who would have thought Lidl be the swish. And I was like, oh, do you mind if I say that? Is that like offensive? She was like, no, because that's how you feel. So please share it. And I was like, oh, I love working with brands like that just let you be completely authentic. So that was great. I came home stuffed, and then today I was like, oh, I should spend the day in doing things. So I started doing things, and then Pearl has been really poorly this week. She's had a rash last week and then her cold this week. She's just full of cold, and it's her first ever experience of being full of cold, and she's not loving it. What time are we on? I've really been chatting, I'm sorry. She's not been loving it, and so I just thought, you know, I'm going to just prioritise this, and I'm going to shut my laptop and have a little cuddle and everything will be okay. So here I am at 5:44 on a Friday night making the weekly, and that's a summary of my week. And I'm not actually going to apologise. I don't think anybody wants me to either. I'm just going to say that's how the week went this week. My camera cut out. I'm glad now that people can talk about feeling unwell and it not have to be like, oh, I've got a stomach bug. Like, you can just say my brain feels a bit busy, and so rather than ignoring that, I'm just going to take that on board and spend some time. Like, if I had a stomach bug, I would stay in bed or like stay at home and just get better. So that's what I've been doing this week, and honestly I feel like it's done me the world of good. I just feel like well, relaxed, more relaxed. My brain is slowing down a bit. I still feel a bit brain busy. It's slowing down, and more to the point, I feel like I've empowered myself to be able to say, to make this choice, and to not feel like I've always got to do something. Because I said to him, I was like, I've got to, and he was like, who? Why? Who says you've got to? Your audience are lovely and will completely understand and support and be like kind-hearted people. You don't have a boss that's like, where's the weekly, where's the weekly? Like, it's only you making me. And I was like, yeah, it's me, and it's Mr. Bloody Slop. I might call this video Mr. Slop. I won't, and that'd be highly triggering for me. But yeah, that's where we are. In summary, I've had a really, really nice week. I've had a really gentle week. I feel like I've been the mum that I want to be. And you know what happened when I didn't like rush around doing loads of housework or doing loads of emails. Nothing. Nothing happened. It's a bit like when you feel worried about wearing a swimming costume, then you put it on and nobody vomits. You're like, oh, nobody minds my thighs. So here we are. I think next week will be a better week. What have I got on next week? Lots. Next week will be a good week. We've got Emma coming. I'm going to Poland for 2 days, cash, as you do. So I think next week will be a lovely week, and I feel like I'm looking forward to filming that again, just for the passion of it, because I love doing it. So that's your weekly this week. I love you lots. I hope you're all well as well, and I hope that you do as I say, not as I do, and that you do take care of yourself, and you don't follow my lead on really anything at all, to be honest with you. Great. I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to edit this video barely at all, because I've just chatted all the way, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much for watching this week.